Hello, you're strapped to my dining room chandelier. Before I get started with the mind mapping technique, which is my absolute favorite thing ever, I want to tell you about this alternative to the Moleskine journal. It looks like a Moleskine journal, but it's produced by a company called Ecosystem, a trademark of Sterling Publishing Company Incorporated, which I think is affiliated with Barnes & Noble. And you can get this at Barnes & Noble, and it's $1 less than the Moleskine journals. And it's got all of the same, the cool features, but it's made in the USA, and they use soy inks. So it's awesome. It's really perfect alternative. So I will never be buying another Moleskine, actually. I love Moleskine, not buying them anymore, because now I can buy these Ecosystem journals. So this was a birthday gift from my lovely friend Amy. Thank you so much, Amy, for this. Great idea. So now I'm ready to talk about the mind mapping technique. And I'll just briefly show you some examples here. I use them for fleshing out story ideas. So I begin in the center with, sort of my tentative title, and I splash out, and I start to connect my ideas, and it's a wonderful story development technique. And I use newsprint. 18 by 24 inches. The bigger the piece of paper, the better. You don't need to spend $10 on a newsprint pad. You can, use an old piece of poster board left over from middle school art projects. Any kind of scrap paper, but it just has to be a big piece of paper. Don't try to do this on like a regular piece of loose leaf paper, because you're not going to be able to splash out the way you ideally would with a larger piece of paper. So what I'm going to do is I am going to show you myself. This is a story idea that I'm fleshing out myself for the first time. And I'm going to do it in real time, so you can see for yourself just what a marvelous technique this is. It's really versatile. What was I going to say? Yeah, because it's so versatile. You can actually ask yourself a question. If you're feeling confused, it doesn't have to be about anything. You can write yourself a question, and then sprout out from there and answer the question for yourself. And you'll be amazed at what kind of answers you come up with. It's a really, really surprising and versatile technique, and so I recommend it for anytime you need to get answers, whether it's about a particular story that you're trying to flesh out, or just general life confusion, existential crisis, etc., etc. It's pretty awesome. It has worked for me in that capacity, so I can vouch for that. But in general, when your ideas start to take shape and they start to connect with each other, this wonderful feeling comes up, where you just start to see that your mind is this gorgeously intricate tapestry of ideas. The chaos becomes art, and that's what I love best about this. That's what I'm getting at here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my timer for 4 minutes, because I think that I can give you a good sense of how this technique works with only 4 minutes. So, right, we're gonna go. Okay. So this story is actually not a novel this time. It's a travelogue. It's an Ireland travelogue. And the point of this is that I'm getting away from the kind of Lucky Charms, golf courses, Guinness Brewery, Blarney Stone, yada yada. There's so much more to Irish culture than what people in America and elsewhere in the world see it as. So this is encapsulated quite nicely for me with a phrase called, it's where the F is Glockamora. And that is a very sentimental song that the author of Improbable Frequency, it's a play, a musical. It's a line in that musical, which I just love. So that's where I'm starting off with this. The first thing I can think of, the first essay is going to be about stained glass. Specifically the stained glass of Harry Clarke. So I need to make some notes for myself. So I will be going to the Crawford Gallery in Cork, and I will also be going to the National Library in Dublin. So those are some research notes. And I also want to make reference to my old teacher, Mike McCormick, who is an amazing writer. His story called The Stained Glass Violations. So I don't know, I might use that as an epigraph. Because in that story, a woman literally eats stained glass. So what else do we have here? I want to write about, quote, obscure Irish writers. So CC, I'm making this connection. He's not obscure, but what I'm saying is, you know, anyone who is not Yeats or Joyce or Wilde. Yeah. So I've got that. And oh, so here's another one. I will be doing some sort of long distance walking trip. Possibly the Kerry Way. Not sure. Oh, here's one. Lord Dunsany. I want to read him. I haven't read him yet. Ooh, and here's another thing. I want to do a tour of haunted Irish castles. And I don't know if Lord Dunsany's castle is haunted, but I can definitely visit, and we'll see what happens. So let's see, what else do we have here? I want to talk about the Irish language. So I might do, oh, here's a note. Padraig, who was my teacher at NYU in my Irish Studies course. So I might want to go to Donegal and do a summer course. Summer school in Donegal. And I will see, let's see if we can connect this and this. Oh, the Midnight Court, I might want to touch on that, epigraph or otherwise. That is an Irish language poem by Brian Merriman. So this is a really good start, actually. Oh, perfect timing. So you can see how I begin with this. And I will start fleshing it in after this. But this is where it begins. And, you know, obviously I took down a few notes in my regular journal, but it makes all the difference. Yeah, these notes. It makes all the difference to see it spread out like a map. I mean, this is your roadmap for your project. And it becomes sort of a sacred document, you know. It's beautiful. It's a really, really inspiring technique. It really fires you up to write whatever it is that you're fleshing out here. So our exercise for this time is, of course, do your own mind map. And I would love to see your results. If you want to leave me a comment and let me know how this worked for you, what kind of paper you used. Did you, take a big piece of, brown paper that came in a package that came from the post office, or did you use a big piece of poster board left over from middle school art class? Whatever. And tell me how this worked for you. Tell me about how you felt when you started to see these connections being made. So I hope that I sufficiently communicated my enthusiasm for this technique, and I hope you enjoy it. As you can see, I love this. I absolutely love this. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any comments or questions, and yeah, that's it.
How are things Lockamora, is that little brook still leaping there?